Hello friends, welcome back. Welcome to the new year. It's 2021, let's get it. As it is the new year and New Year's resolutions are a thing, this year not only are a lot of people trying to lose holiday weight, we're also trying to lose some quarantine weight. If you were one of those people that took quarantine to get super fit and like get leaner than ever or stronger than ever or healthier than ever or feel better than ever, that's great. Good job. But if you didn't, there is absolutely no shame in that because let's be real, 2020 was a lot. But fingers crossed, 2021, you know, new year, new you, new world. Hopefully we're not gonna dive deeper into the hole of despair that 2020 dug us into. Knock on wood, I really hope I didn't just jinx the whole year. We'll come back to this video in a few months and find out. Anyway, even though since a lot of areas still are like max pandemicking, especially where I am, this still feels like a good fresh start. Time to make some change, get back on track with what you're trying to do. So for anyone who's trying to lose weight or may try to lose weight in the future, is interested about weight loss in general, I wanted to touch on 5 of the biggest weight loss myths that I see. And these are things that if you believe them will 100% get in the way of you achieving your goals. Honestly, the last one is something that I've seen ruin so much progress needlessly and is something that a lot of my clients struggle with, a lot of people in general struggle with. I think it's like one of the biggest things that trips up a lot of people. So let's just dive straight into it. Give this video a thumbs up if you're excited to leave 2020 behind us. And leave a comment down below and let me know what your health and fitness related goals are for 2021. So this first myth might sound a little bit weird at first, but trust me, it makes a huge difference. And that is that weight loss makes you look more toned. Most people, when they say they want to lose weight, mean that they actually want to look more toned. And here's the thing, your weight does not dictate how toned you look. Looking toned comes from 2 things. Having a relatively lower body fat percentage, but also having a strong muscular base. Fun fact, the word toned comes from muscle tone. You can't look toned without the muscle. If you don't have a lot of body fat, but you also don't have a lot of muscle, you get the classic skinny fat look, which if you're going for that, go for it. Like, do that, do you, if that's what you want to do, but that's just not what most people are going for. So here's where the distinction in the weight loss myth comes in. If you want to look more toned, you need to focus on fat loss, not weight loss. If you're focusing on just weight loss and doing everything you can to just get your weight as low as possible or reduce it as much as possible, then you might lose fat, but you might also lose muscle in the process. If you're focusing just on fat loss and doing what you can to preserve muscle mass, then you're going to get more toned. Let's say you're 28% body fat and you want to get to like 22% body fat and you only focus on weight loss. You do a bunch of things that just reduce your body's total weight. You end up losing some fat, but you also end up losing some muscle. Maybe you lose 30 pounds. You could still be 28% body fat. You might be 29 or 30% body fat if you lose more muscle. So yeah, overall you're going to be smaller, but you're not going to be any closer to looking more toned or defined. This is why a lot of relatively thin people get really frustrated when they don't see their abs. It's because they have a higher body fat percentage, even though overall they're just a small person. And so that kind of person, if you're already thin, but you're not seeing definition, you're not looking toned, all you need to do is build muscle. If you keep trying to lose weight, you're just gonna stay at the same aesthetic and just kind of get smaller and smaller. On the other hand, if you're 28% body fat and you're just focusing purely on fat loss, not weight loss, to get toned, you are eating enough protein, you are lifting heavy, which honestly are like the 2 big things that you kind of need to do to just focus on fat loss instead of weight loss. But you're also eating enough carbs to fuel your workout and all that good stuff. You lose 30 pounds of fat. You're not going to be a higher body fat percentage. You're definitely going to be a lower body fat percentage. Obviously, the end body fat percentage would be dictated by the starting weight, but you could get down to like 25-24% body fat. And not only that, it's going to be a lot easier for you to maintain your lower body fat percentage because the more muscle mass you have on your body, the more calories you burn throughout the day. Therefore, the more you can eat to maintain weight. You can see this demonstrated so clearly when you look at these pictures where the person is the same weight, but obviously their body fat percentage is very different. And so it's not your weight that dictates your aesthetic. So to focus more on fat loss, like I said, make sure you are resistance training, eating enough protein. Don't be afraid of carbs. Don't use the scale as a metric of progress. Instead, if you do want to track progress in some way, highly recommend taking progress pictures or body measurements, like with a tape. You can, like a measuring tape, you can measure around like your waist and your arms and your legs and that kind of stuff. But if you're just trying to look more toned and defined, it's really important to get rid of the idea that you have to lose weight. That should not be your focus. Myth number 2 is one that frustrates me to no end. Y'all know I can rant about this for days. It is that there is no best diet for weight loss. It does not exist, at least in the context of thinking that there is one diet that could help everyone lose weight. Here's the thing. There's this beautiful thing called bioindividuality. All humans are different. Not only do we have different genetics, but we also exist in different external environments. So for example, our genetics can dictate how well we can absorb vitamins and minerals from plant foods, or how well our bodies can process EPA and DHA. And when it comes to our environments, some of us have much longer exposure to the sun because of where we live. We also have different water quality, different air quality. All of those things affect how our bodies metabolize what we're putting in them. So different diets will affect different people differently. There is no one best weight loss diet. Anyone who tells you that they have found the weight loss diet that like will help everyone, or just the diet in general for like health, is probably trying to sell you something, or has just fallen into the dogma of the diet and is blind to everything else. And this one, it frustrates me to no end, just because this is something that can actually just negatively impact people's health in general so much, and has like consistently, like, it kills me. It kills me, especially as a coach who has worked with people who have gotten messed up by this diet dogma. It's just okay. Need to rein it in, or else the rest of this video will just be a rant. So as an example, intermittent fasting. A lot of people swear by it. Can it be great? Yes. Did I love doing it when I was doing it? Absolutely. I felt great. Particularly for men, it's really good at improving insulin sensitivity. And it can work really well for some women too, but for other women, it can wreak havoc on your hormones and disrupt your hormone balance. Another example is a plant-based diet. Like I said, some people can absorb vitamins and minerals from plants a lot better than others. Those people are going to do much better on a plant-based diet than people whose bodies literally do not do as good of a job extracting nutrients from plants. So I know this is kind of disappointing and frustrating, because I can't just tell you like, go keto, it's gonna solve all your problems and it will help everyone lose weight, and that's the only answer that the whole world needs. Don't even get me started on the keto dogma. But I think for a lot of people who have tried a bunch of different diets and they haven't worked, this is somewhat freeing, because now you know that you just have to experiment and find out what works best for you. Each person is going to have an optimal diet for where you are in life right now, and this may shift over the years depending on where you're living or the stress that you have in life. But you can find something that is going to be optimal for your body. It just might not be something as clearly defined as paleo or keto or plant-based or intermittent fasting or whatever it may be. All these different diet boxes, you might not fit into one of the boxes. You have to build your own box. The best diet for weight loss for you is the one that makes you feel the most energized. So you have more energy in general, you feel great, you're gonna be moving more, your workouts are gonna be more efficient, you're gonna be able to get stronger, you're gonna be able to maintain more muscle because you're gonna be able to lift heavier. So we're circling back to the last myth. With your best diet for weight loss, you should also have good digestion so you can absorb all the nutrients. You should be able to get really good sleep so that you can maximize your recovery. Your best diet should make you feel satiated, so you're not overeating, you feel satiated. And most importantly, it has to be something that's practical for you to follow long term. Long-term weight loss really is about establishing a new healthy lifestyle that's going to help you maintain that weight loss. And so if you can't maintain your diet long term, it's not going to work for you long term. So TLDR for that is you don't need a specific diet or a specific label. You need to experiment and figure out what works for you and stick to that and build your own diet box. Myth number 3 is that you need to track calories to lose weight. And I wasn't going to include this one, but I actually got in a little argument with someone in a Facebook forum the other day where she was insisting you have to track calories to lose weight, and I was like, bruh, that's not true. It's not true. Here's the deal with tracking calories and macros. Yes, it is more efficient. If you want to lose weight, I don't want to say as quickly as possible, but like if you want to maximize everything that you're doing in order to make your weight loss as efficient as possible, tracking calories and macros is probably your best option. But is it necessary? No. especially if you're approaching your fat loss as an overall lifestyle change, which is what you should be doing anyway. If you're not tracking, it probably will take a little bit longer. You're probably gonna have some more ups and downs. But if your main focus is optimizing your diet and your lifestyle for where you want to be, not only aesthetically, but also just with your health and with your life, then your physique will follow. The healthier you are, the easier it is to lose fat. And so if you focus on just optimizing your health overall, oftentimes the fat will just kind of fall off. Unless you're trying to be like bikini competitor lean, which is not healthy, you're going to be able to get there eventually. And this can be approached in multiple different ways. Like, you can try to lose fat without tracking in a much more structured way, or you can just focus on overhauling your diet and lifestyle, not worry about how much you're eating, and eventually the weight will come off. I have a whole video breaking down, like, step by step how to optimize fat loss without tracking calories, so you're still kind of like keeping track of like what's going in your mouth, but no numbers are involved or anything like that. And so if you want the more like streamlined approach for fat loss without tracking calories, I will link that video down in the description box below. But I just think this is really important for a lot of people to hear, especially those of you who have a disordered relationship with food that is exacerbated by tracking. People fall all across the spectrum when it comes to relationship with tracking. Like, I've also been all over this, not all over the spectrum, but like sometimes I can track and be totally fine with it and I feel great. I don't feel restricted at all. Like, we're chilling. It's just as good as when I'm not tracking. Sometimes when I track, I feel more restricted and I just want to eat everything else that isn't going to fit the numbers that I'm trying to hit, because that's just what my brain is telling me to do. And I know that's the case for a lot of people as well. And then for other people with tracking, sometimes they will start tracking and it leads to more and more restriction, which is like the opposite problem, but still just as much of a problem. Tracking for a lot of people can cause a whole lot of issues. I think that tracking is totally fine if you're fine with it. Like, if it doesn't cause you to restrict or binge or anything, like, go for it. I am super pro tracking. I think that it's super educational and you can learn so much doing it. But if it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you, and that's totally okay, and you can still get to your goals without it. So in general, if you're trying to lose weight without tracking, focus on health. Try to find your best diet that we were just talking about. Not necessarily best diet for weight loss, but the diet that gives you the most energy, helps you get the best sleep, makes you just feel generally the best, makes your digestion on point. Focus on finding an exercise routine that you love and that you can stick with. Focus on getting to bed on time and establishing a good circadian rhythm. Manage your stress, add in some meditation, some journaling. Like, just treat your body like you freaking love it, and it will love you back. This next myth is one that you've definitely heard me rant about before, but it's been a while and it deserves a mention in this, and that is that you have to do cardio to lose weight. I have a whole video breaking down like the in-depth science behind all of this with all of the explanations, so if you really want to get into it, like, go watch that video if you're confused about anything that I'm saying, or if you just want to learn more. And let me give you a quick disclaimer before I get into my rant. I'm not saying cardio is bad. I'm not saying you shouldn't do cardio. A base level of cardiovascular health is absolutely necessary for overall health. If you enjoy cardio, please keep doing cardio. I'm not saying everyone needs to stop doing cardio. Please keep getting your little steps in. Something super worth noting though is that you do not have to do traditional cardio to be doing cardio. Like, cardio just means your heart is working to a certain extent. It's working harder than it is when you're just sitting there. Resistance training and other non-traditional cardio forms of exercise can still work your heart very well. So even to maintain basic cardiovascular health, you don't necessarily need to like go run or go get on the elliptical or like do a cardio workout to be working your heart. So with that out of the way, why cardio is not necessary and in my opinion not even optimal for fat loss. The TLDR of it is that humans are adaptation machines. Our bodies drive homeostasis. They want us to just be chilling where we are. That's why it's so difficult to build muscle and to lose fat, because our bodies are just like, nah. Let's just stay here, and they work against us to make those changes. So when you start adding more cardio to your routine to burn more calories, to put yourself in a calorie deficit to lose fat, eventually, after a couple weeks, your body's like, oh, we're burning all these extra calories. We don't want to be burning these extra calories. We want to maintain homeostasis. So your body slowly decreases the amount of calories that you're burning during your cardio workouts over time. So that eventually, you're doing the cardio, and you're not in a deficit anymore. Or at least that cardio is not helping you achieve a deficit because your body has already down-regulated your energy expenditure to match what you're expending when you're doing the cardio. So basically, cardio can work really well in the short term. Like if you only have a couple pounds to lose, by all means, just like go hit the elliptical every day, lose those couple pounds, and then you're chilling. But if you have a more long-term weight loss goal, then cardio is a very short-term tool that your body adapts to really quickly that isn't going to give you the same effectiveness long-term. And this adaptation starts to happen in just a couple weeks, and that's why a lot of people plateau, because your body adapts to things. Just as a quick, simple illustration of how cardio affects your body and how it adapts and why it's not really optimal for fat loss. So let's say your current TDEE, where you're chilling at maintenance, that's how much you need to eat to maintain your weight with your current exercise routine and everything, is 2,500 calories. And you want to put yourself in a 500 calorie deficit. And let's just say, for the sake of simplicity, you just do this with cardio rather than also eating less. So you're still eating 2,500 calories, but to put yourself in a 500 calorie deficit, you are burning an extra 500 through cardio. So you go do like an hour of running every day. Clearly this isn't super practical, but again, just simple explanation to get the point across. You start running an hour a day to burn an extra 500 calories. So now your body is burning 3,000 calories, you're intaking 2,500 calories. That's a 500 calorie deficit. But as time goes on, you're still eating 2,500 calories. But your body's like, yo, we're burning all these extra calories. This isn't chill. Like, we need to fix this. So you're doing your cardio and your calorie burn decreases until your calorie burn is the same as your intake. You're now burning 2,500 calories a day, eating 2,500 calories a day. You're not going to lose any weight, and you're still running an hour a day. This is the important part, is now your body has adapted to that extra cardio, and so if you stop doing the cardio, you're now going to be in a surplus. Because now, this is your TDEE, this is how many calories you're burning, and this is how many calories you're burning with the cardio. So if you get rid of that, that's your actual TDEE without the cardio. And you're still eating this much. So now you're in a surplus. So not only is cardio not necessary for weight loss, all you need is technically a calorie deficit, which is a whole rant for another day. Let me know if you want a video about my thoughts on like whether or not a calorie deficit is necessary for weight loss, because that's kind of a fun discussion. But the short answer is yes, all you need for weight loss is technically a calorie deficit. That does not need to be achieved with cardio. Increasing exercise and decreasing calorie intake are the two ways to create a calorie deficit. Cardio is just one way to increase exercise. There's so many other options out there. So the takeaway from this is, if you hate cardio, don't worry about doing cardio for fat loss. It's not necessary. The next huge myth that ruins so much progress needlessly is the idea that you have to be perfect about everything to see progress and to keep making progress. Then if you have one little slip up, you've ruined everything and there's no point in continuing. This happens to so many people. They're super on point with everything for like a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, and then they have a little slip up. Maybe they go out with some friends and have a slice of pizza, or they have like an extra beer, or they miss their workout 2 days in a row. These mistakes don't do anything. I don't even consider them mistakes. I consider them living your life. And because your fat loss journey should be more about restructuring your lifestyle rather than specifically like just trying to drain as much fat from your body as fast as possible, these things are things that need to be included in your journey, because you can't keep pizza away forever. I mean, unless you hate pizza, but that's just a sad life. But these aren't mistakes. The mistake that happens is thinking that these things are mistakes and having that result in a downward spiral. The first little thing is not the thing that actually derails your progress. It's the response to that. Well, I had the slice of pizza, so tomorrow I'm gonna have a whole pizza and 6 donuts, and then the next day I'm gonna have 12 donuts and a cake and all of the things. Then you're getting off track. That's when things start to go wrong. It's the reaction that leads to like a binge or the giving up mentality that leads to the derailing of progress. It's not the actual small thing itself. Focus on progress, not perfection. Focus on it building a healthy, sustainable lifestyle, not following a super strict regimen. Before you embark on a fat loss journey or a health journey or a bulking journey or whatever it may be that you're trying to achieve, before you go down that path, tell yourself that it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to not be 100% on your plan all the time. If you give yourself permission ahead of time to have some wiggle room, then when you take that wiggle room, it's not a big deal. This is one of the big reasons I don't do cheat days, because I don't follow anything strictly. So if I have a day where I do have a pizza, an entire pizza, when I eat a pizza, I eat an entire pizza, and like 2 hard kombuchas or something, I don't feel guilty, I don't feel bad. I just get up the next day, have my eggs for breakfast, go to the gym, continue on with my life. I don't restrict because of it. I don't end up binging because of it, because I don't feel guilty. I don't feel like I messed up. I don't feel like all of my progress was derailed, because I gave myself the permission ahead of time, because it was an active decision to eat that pizza and drink the hard kombucha. I wasn't eating it thinking, oh my god, this is horrible, oh my god, I need to stop, oh my god, I'm ruining everything. I was eating it thinking, I'm enjoying this. You're human. Give yourself permission to not be perfect, because perfection is literally impossible. And those are the 5 big myths that I wanted to address today. I have a whole other list of myths that I kind of want to address, but if I did this video, it would be like 45 minutes long. So let me know if you want to see that other video. They're more like procedural myths rather than like just general conceptual myths. But yeah, let me know if you want to see that video. Also, make sure you let me know what your health and fitness goals are for this year. If you like the video, please give it a big thumbs up, because it really does support me and my channel. I really genuinely appreciate it. Please share this video with your friends, your family, and your neighbors. If you want to see more content from me all about health and fitness, check it out over here. To see future videos from me, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the little notification bell so you get notified when I post a video, and I will see you very soon. Bye!